Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're going to be trying out a Brew in Historic Best of One. Want to try out a couple new cards and see how it plays out. So this is a mono black mid-range deck. So it's kind of like Aliandrazi's Golos like mono black deck, but I kind of shifted the focus to be a little bit more mid-rangey as opposed to control. So you do have Golos with the World Tree that lets you spin Golos for 7 mana. We also have tutorable lands in like a Cabal Stronghold, just a single copy because it doesn't have black on its own, and there is some utility lands. We have Castle Lochwain to draw cards, some Hives as attacking lands, the new Takenuma to kind of channel, recycle a Blast Zone for like 9 lives, stuff like that, and a Field of Ruin as removal. And kind of the main card I wanted to try out in Historic was Invoke Despair. So this is a 5 mana sorcery. We played it a bit in Standard, but you basically force your opponent to sack a creature. If they can't, they lose 2 life, you draw a card. Then you repeat it for enchantment and planeswalkers. So it could be potentially 5 mana, drain 6, draw 3. If you chain them with Golos, it's also pretty sweet like that as well. The rest of the deck with kind of a mix of removal options, some Fatal Push, a March of the Wretched Sorrow I want to try out. This one goes to hit planeswalkers as well as gain you life. I want to try out a Life of Toshiro. So against aggressive decks, it can -1/1, can gain you some life, and it also ramps you into your Invoke Despairs as well. Some Grasp of Darkness I want to try out. Just we are heavy black, so -4/4. Here you could try out like Heartless Act, Eliminate. There's a whole bunch of cards that fit. I want to try the Grasps here to see how they play out. Some Hooks, as well as an Elspeth's Nightmare, and then some Ritual of Soots as sweepers. Notably, you'll see like a lot of incidental graveyard hate. Historic is a very graveyard-centric format, so Cling to Dust can gain you life, draw you cards. Can also hit the graveyard. Soul Guide Lantern hits the graveyard. Graveyard Trespasser puts a clock against the control decks, as well as hits the graveyard. Elspeth's Nightmare exiles the graveyard. So we want to be able to interact on all axes with the deck. And then just wrapping it up, we got some Thoughtseize to attack the hand, some Gifted Aetherborns to put pressure, but also, again, gain us some life, some Mind Stones for ramp, and late game we can just cycle to draw cards, and then some Sorens for card advantage as well. So we're going to give this a shot, see how it goes. I've yet to play a single game with it, so my daily was play black cards, and this is generally kind of the strategy I like to play. So it's either like linear aggro, which will return to Cleveland for the next video, or kind of these interactive decks. Excuse me. But if you're new to the channel, typically every month I make Mythic with a off-tier deck. Usually, like if you really want to play mono red aggro in Historic, I've played hundreds of games with it. It's kind of my go-to deck. But give you an idea, we try to play off-meta decks. We do weekly meta breakdowns though on the channel, where we talk through all the best performing decks in the format. So that's always, if you want to kind of get up to speed with what are the best decks, or if you just want to play like tier 2, stuff like that, it's always fun. Okay, so this is a Cat Oven deck. So what I can do, I can actually eat their cat. Okay, so their Anvil Brushstroke deck. So notably, I can't Invoke Despair it. Because what I want to try to do is catch them, because I can eat that. I want to get them to play into that, and then I can just eat their graveyard. Because the Invoke Despair will also hit the Sanguine Brushstroke, which is nice. Okay, so we're gonna get some value from this next turn. Especially because we've drawn nothing but lands. Anvil's actually a really cool card in this deck. Ooh, we hit Golos. So we World Treeing following this. So here I have the option to kind of pop this at any time once they show a threat that's worth hitting. Okay, so they don't have blood, or the... We gotta be mindful of our life total here, but I'm hoping Golos. Jeez. Talk about literally nothing but lands. Where are you, World Tree? Okay, so we're both kind of on top deck mode. Really, if they show Oven. Opponent is wisely just attacking in. So I need like Ritualist Soot here. Something for the life or life gain as well could be nice. Because they get drains every turn. So they are hitting me pretty hard. This is one of those matchups where our axes of attack's a little off. Okay, Sorin's great.
Under my vampire nor shoot, you fight for me now.
That gains me some life. I can also cycle these now. Okay, so they dispute. We got the graveyard locked down for this cat, so as soon as they play like an Oven, we're okay. Meat Hook is something we're going to want to be mindful of. Don't really want those. Ah. Hey, Aetherborn's nice. So here, let's get our 2 life. I think given we have Golos going, I'm just going to cash this Sorin in for some lifelink value. So the downside of this line is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have enough if they draw Meat Hook. So I could take a turn with just drawing a card, which maybe we do. I don't want to take 4 right now.
Very well.
We got to be mindful. It's going to try to auto tap my Mind Stone. Holding back because we could double block on the Hive. Because here I would have cycled my Mind Stone. Yikes. Um... One, two, oh. So blue, blue, black, red, white, green, black, black. So I have ritual here. Grasp's perfect. So they can get some ping damage off. Let's see if they want to go after my... They might just cash this in. They just let it die. Thoughtseizes aren't doing great in this particular matchup. I can do this on their turn, because then I could potentially trigger Revolt from a Fatal Push. They're at 40 cards, we're at 33. We're seeing like what Golos can do. Okay, so this is when we sack this, exile their graveyard. Gonna sack the Mind Stone here. They still have 2 cats left. I like opponent's build though. Woe Strider is actually annoying because it can get around my lifelink. Spin to win, Golos edition. Okay, so it's actually pretty cool because what I can do here. Let's see what Soren gets. That's good for next turn. Do I want to take 2? Probably not.
Dire times call for dire
You know what?
tactics.
Because I can't trigger Revolt here. I could decline to search with Golos. Get the Revolt trigger here. Because I don't care if they spend the other turn with Woe Strider, because I have this Meat Hook, and I can Meat Hook for 4. And then I could just make another token. Ah, stupid cat. Stupid cat. I hate you so much. 1, 2, so 7, 5. I'm 1 off from doing everything that I want. That's actually... Oh no, but they have the extra food. I was gonna say... So if that's the case... I need to gain life here, so... I guess Anvil lets them block. Okay, so they went that route instead. No, so they wisely realize the error of their ways. That pings them for 1. So here now at least I nullify the Cauldron Familiar Drains. Sick. We also get Nightmare, which is nice. So I target this. And then I sacrifice Soul Guide and exile their graveyard. Then I think here, because they most likely have their own meat hooks in this deck. We'll just decline. We'll go to end turn, pass. So I'm actually going to keep these Thoughtseize because I can discard them to March of the Wretched Sora, and it gives me another way to hit them. So here I want to discard 2. This costs 2 less for each card exiled that way. So X4, discard, discard. Because they're going to just sack it anyways to Oven. I'm able to do this, and then I gain 4 life. Now they can take out my Sorin, but Sorin's done enough in this game. Even just making lifelink bodies. What's in their graveyard? Just a claim? I think we just get aggressive here. 6, 9, 11. This game's actually been like really sweet. Lots of back and forth. We've seen what we can do. Golos just single-handedly dragged us through. Alright, that's my turn. How about yours? Let's make them go to attacks. So now they can't eat food. I think our like sweeper mix is coming pretty good handy. Good game, opponent. That was a sweet game. I like their deck. The Anvil adds like another layer to the deck where you just get more tokens. 20-minute first game. I thought historic best of one was 3-minute games. Let's give this one another go, see how it plays out. I'm curious to see how our deck fared. We still had 4 Midnight Reapers. We go first. I'll can decide how we're gonna play out. Elves. So turn 2. Like, what do we lose to? Crater Hoof more than anything, right? I could take out their early game, but like this is how they beat us. Now we have Toshiro, which will answer these elves. And like now they can't play this. This will transform on turn 3, which will enable Revolt. Opponent. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, so they go growing rates here, so a little annoying because I don't get the full value here. So how it works is this exiles, so it leaves the battlefield and then comes back. So I'm gonna get Blast Zone here. It's a good backup card if we need it. Just to sweep their board. Can't activate. Yikes. So 1. So I could pay a life here. I was hoping for a sweeper, to be honest. Maybe I should have just played it safe. I don't think they play more than 1 Crater Hoof. So if we find a sweeper, we're in a really good spot. Fatal Push isn't bad. So, Fatal Push here. Eat that. March can hit for 2 here. So, pay a mana here, so we're okay. So let's do this. Try to close this game out. So this adds a mana. And then you can do for 2. Why does it insist? Black, blue, red, white, green. Black. Okay, well. That's a good start. These will transform again, but we're not too worried.
I am vengeance, blood and righteous. You fight for me.
So actually, we can save Wretched. Alright. Didn't even hit a sweeper, but just smacking them with free value. Like, if opponents don't answer Golos, it's just huge value. Been seeing an incline in the number of Elves players. So we saw like that game there, like Thoughtseize taking that Crater Hoof. The opponent had all the mana in the world, but nothing to do with it. And that's why if you could attack like their payoff cards, so any of their creatures that they pump mana into, we got rid of the Lord effect there. Opponent goes first, hand looks decent. Can be used as card advantage, but we're hoping this is a creature deck. If this is like a graveyard combo deck, we do have a piece of interaction. If this is a control deck, we have 3 dead cards. Opponents on Plat 2 rank. I don't understand. Okay. We'll take that. Cool, 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 cool. Alright, one more. The Toshiro is pretty good, like all things considered. Like in that elf matchup, it really shines. I think as a one-of, it's fine. I wouldn't probably play more than that, but... Opponent goes first, attack their hand, Trespasser on 3. No real removal, but let's give this a shot. Since they're blue-white control, I'm actually gonna wait till next turn to Thoughtseize, because I want to have a better chance of resolving this Graveyard Trespasser. Yeah, I don't care about that. It makes our Trespasser a little worse, but... Okay, so... They're kind of stuck on lines. We can take Teferi, or we can take the Archmage's Charm. Charm can counter... Because like we're going to go Graveyard Trespasser, they counter my Graveyard Trespasser. I have this Invoke Despair that can clean up a Teferi, so maybe we do that. as expected. Probably gonna draw a card next turn. Yikes. Okay, so now I'm not drawing a card. Play out Teferi. Cool.
If you show remorse, hurry.
No counter. Okay, so I go another rest in peace. I need to just be mindful of this hull. Oh, they're 9 lives. That's really good. If they're 9 lives... So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can put this on. I want them to commit the Solemnity before we do so. Because if they know we have Blast Zone, then they don't play it out. Or not the Solemnity, the 9 lives. So we'll take that out. Get ourselves a land. Do I want to take 6? Probably not. I think we just get in for a point of damage here, or some damage. Again. Oh no, wait. Solemnity prevents that from working.
Trust me, you'll no time for.
So can't enter with counters. Forgot about that. Blast Zone, you need to have it come down prior. So the one thing is we have a lot of ways to make your opponent lose life.
Let's skip to the good part.
Cool. Cool, 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 cool. So Invoke Despair is loss of life. What's its name? The Gatekeeper or Cemetery Reaper is loss of life. Meat Hook is loss of life. So if you look at it, so how the 9 lives deck works is it's can't deal damage, but Yoshiro doesn't actually do it, but loss of life, Graveyard Trespassers, loss of life. This is loss of life, plus this will force them to sack some enchantments as well. So there's ways around it that we can go with, even just hard casting that. But overall, this deck was pretty sick. Did exactly what we wanted to in the ladder. You know what, I need to do my daily, so let's do one more. Hopefully it's not a long one. Nope, historical. Historicals. I've actually been enjoying this deck. Good elements. The strict blue-white version of the deck seems so much worse than the Selesnya one. The Selesnya one, you draw so many cards, it's more proactive. Opponent goes first. Sure. Mono red aggressive deck. So I can take the Burning Tree. I can actually take the Robber here. it doesn't do as much on turn 2. This meat hook's gonna be too slow in this matchup. Did they draw a card? No. Okay, so we got Hive of the Eye Tyrant. They hit their land. So I can discard Meat Hook. Let's go one more turn. Because the thing is, I'd rather get rid of Torbran. Yes. And the question is... Okay, so how do I do this? Because I'm too short, I can deal 4. I have to get rid of the Invoke Despair, which is probably correct. I don't love this line, but our hand's a little awkward. We drew nothing but lands here. This buys us some time. Oh, we're just professionals at this game. I need to do this to take them off Embercleave. So if they draw a land, they could Embercleave, but then I get to just Invoke Despair, their only creature. Okay, so they're going to hit me for 8 here. Any haste creature off the top's kind of annoying. Getting a life here. Both of those were great draws. Not so good, not so good. 612 damage coming through. They go 2, so 12. I have to double block. That was a good follow-up from them. It's actually only 10 damage. So they could have Infuriate, but I'm dead to Infuriate regardless. The Trespasser lets me eat at their graveyard. So that's 10. That puts me to 7. So yeah, I need to do this. Because if they have Stomp in hand, I'm dead. No, that doesn't do it either. They get 2 1/1s. Those 2 1/1s then equipped, and then that's 5 damage. They can also channel into that, which works. I only gain 1 life, so that's 6 mana, or that's 6 life. I have 6 mana, so I can't even flip this. Okay, let's try. We're dead to like anything with haste. Oh, that only makes 1 because we minus out its power. Of course, because why not? Of course, but why not? Yeah. That's unfortunate. The cleave hurt there. We just didn't draw anything that game. We draw a sweeper that's like not meat hook. We could have been okay, but when you have to pay 4 mana to kill a Burning Tree Emissary, it's not the greatest. Overall, deck felt pretty sweet. Let me know what you think, and we will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.